Hi everyone, hi everyone, hi everyone. So today I'm going to talk about my book, but Johnny didn't hear me, and my inspiration for writing the book and the process of writing the book in brief overview, but basically how I feel and how I felt about writing it and then self-publishing it. But Johnny didn't hear me was inspired by two main things. One, my brother. My brother was going through a phase where he would have his earphones in his ears constantly. So my mom would be talking to him, anyone would be talking to him, and he just would not get through because he was in a world of his own. He's a very successful man now, so that has passed, but this was that time, and the book reflected that and reflected a lot of him. Um, the other inspiration was I was teaching. I teach the violin, and I was teaching at that time at a primary school, and it's a very affluent primary school. And I realized that the conversations that I had with children at the school were on a whole different level. I would ask children how their weekend was, and I would get responses that were, for example, oh well, we went to Germany and then we went across to Spain and then we came back to Barbados, and in between there they'd be explaining a whole bunch of stuff that they did. And I realized that children learn and understand so much more than sometimes we give them credit for understanding or realizing. And so I almost half wrote this book. I decided, you know what, since you as a child can know so much and can analyze and can put together, I wrote it for everyone, but I wrote it understanding that children grow and learn and their minds grow up. And so, for example, the word headphones, I didn't mention that. In the book, actually, um, a hearing impaired girl comes over and she uses sign language. There she is. There they are at dinner. And I don't use the word sign language, but when I read this book to many children, they would say, oh, she's hearing impaired, she uses sign language. And Johnny just doesn't communicate, respond, have any conversation. Children completely got it. Um, those are my two main inspirations for writing the book. My good friend illustrated it, and so along with me only writing half of the words, as far as I was concerned, in terms of describing and bringing detail, she then completed the rest. And so the book was there. The idea was there. It was written down. I did write it quickly. I did put it down. Like sometimes I let my pieces set, so I let this set for a little while, and then I pulled it up and I said, printer, here we come. I self-published this book and went through the process of making sure the colors were right, choosing the right kind of paper, selecting my printer, and I had the book. I then sent copies to my family, asked them how they thought the book was, friends, so forth. And I sent it back to my old my old secondary school. Some people would call it high school. And my art teacher responded and she said it was such a lovely book. She liked the illustrations. She thought she was surprised that I wrote a book in the first place. But then she said yes, she liked it. She really liked it. And I also sent it to one of my English teachers also saw it, and she then wrote me on a piece of foolscap. She wrote me her comments and what she thought about the book. So I had gone on my way going back to the car. I read it, and she said it was horrible, and and that no child would ever read it. It was not attractive and parents wouldn't buy the book. And she said that I would not get sales, and the book was not written well. Whew. So for the first time, I have been able to record a true hater. A true, like, you hear these stories from professional persons who have made it in whatever industry or field, and you hear their beginnings and the number of times certain people who they expected would be with them, or just random people in the industry, are not, saying that they can't make it, saying that whatever their vision or dream or product is, it is poor, lacking, will not be sold or purchased or used. So I had that experience with an English teacher. And from there I said, I think you got a good one. I think you got something good. The book right now, as we speak, is sold out. So if you have gotten a copy, and if your school has copies, then consider yourself lucky. It is a special edition now, because there are really no more copies available for sale. Oh, we're looking at a reprint. Publishers, contact me. But this is it. This is the book. This is where it came from. Those are the inspirations, and that has been the storying process. The book went on to tour in schools across the island. We had great interactions with children from nursery schools all the way up to primary schools. And then we took the tour to St. Vincent and Dominica, and we had teacher training sessions out of it. The book was really used as a tool to help understand children, allow children to be able to read between the lines, and that's very useful, especially for school systems where children are taught a lot by rote, to memorize, and there's very little testing or prodding or encouragement as it comes to analysis, their own opinion. And so this book brought out a lot in children as they interacted with it. So I had fun with this book. I had the idea. I went to the drawing board. I crunched my numbers. I would have gone through the printing process, and here it is. So to my future self, I enjoyed the process completely. I enjoyed linking the people together who were necessary to make this project come about. I'm proud of what I've done, and every time I read this book, I really and truly and thoroughly enjoy it. It is just a fun, Caribbean, eye-opening book, and I'm so glad that I pushed through and continued to write it, and I could share this story with as many people as I have. So, from me to future me, that's how I feel about it. And to everyone else watching, that's my process, that's my story. I'm sure there's more and other things, but I'll just document this part for a while. And I will encourage you, regardless of what people call you or say to you, remember that that can indeed be a sign to where you will be going, and then allow that inspiration to grow and flourish by actually going out and guessing what it is you had the idea for. Done. Bring it to fruition, complete it, and make that your stamp on the world. So go for it. Go for it. Bye-bye.